So here we are going to discuss Nepo versus Ding, the recent game in the World Chess Championship. And so it started with e4, e5 game. And so we are just skipping the opening. And so from here onwards, we can start our analysis. So here the black played knight to a5. His idea was to capture the bishop so that if we are recapturing the bishop, and then we can see there will be a double pawn. This two will be a double pawn, and this pawn will not have any support. So it is not good for the white. So he played bishop to a2. So the next move was c5 because the idea is to get control over the center. Now you can see the black is having a good control over the center. So that was his idea. So that he played the knight to this square. So we can continue. And so he developed his knight, and he developed the bishop, and he developed the bishop again, developed the bishop, and this castle. Here we can see that he is capturing the knight. So do you know what's the idea? Because when he is capturing the knight, so you can see that the black bishop here and these three pawns are in black in color. So which means that this will be a bad bishop. So while capturing this knight, he is recapturing, and you can see that we have eliminated our dark square bishop, and at the same time you can see the black bishop on f6 is now a bad bishop. So he is not having much square to move, and so he plays a knight. Can anyone tell me what's the idea here? Okay, suppose he captures, and then suppose he is capturing, then you can see that the light squares will be very weak. I will just show the move. The light squares will be very weak. So the knight cannot go to this square, these two squares, because it is controlled by the bishop. So, and you can see the black bishop, these pawns are sitting in the black squares. So the black bishop cannot get so much active. So that is why he played the knight to d5. So he hasn't captured, instead he played g6. So that he can place the bishop to g7 and getting more squares for the bishop. And so he developed the queen, moving the queen to d2. And so the bishop, like we discussed, bishop goes to g7. And here they played knight to g5. So attacking the bishop. So here he played the pawn to c4. Do you know the idea? Because when the pawn is in c4, and so when we are capturing this, he's capturing the knight, we are only capturing with the pawn. So we are getting the double pawn. So we cannot capture with the bishop. So now when he captures this knight, we can only capture back with the pawn. So our pawns will be doubled. So it is not good for us. And our bishop is blocked by the pawn also. So it is literally not good for us. And so we first capture this bishop. He captured the bishop, and so captured back with the pawn. And so the pawn is attacking our knight. So we have to move our knight. So he plays the knight to e3. Okay. So here you can see that placing the knight to e3, we are attacking this pawn because the pawn is attacking and the knight is attacking and the bishop is attacking. Three pieces, okay, two pieces and the pawn are attacking this pawn, the pawn on c4. And it's only defended by two pieces. Two pieces means one knight and other pawn. So you can see that, okay, we are attacking the knight. So the move usually will come is rook to c8. Some place will come go with the rook to c8. So capture, and we are supporting the pawn. But he played a beautiful move, bishop to h6. So the idea is that he pinned the knight. So when we are capturing, he is capturing back with the pawn. Okay, even we are capturing with the knight. Sorry, knight capturing with the knight to a pawn. When we are capturing the bishop, so we cannot capture back with our knight because our knight is pinned. Okay, that's the point. So he played rook to d1. So his idea is that after capturing this pawn, we can capture this pawn. After capturing this pawn, we can capture this pawn because the rook and the queen, the two pieces are attacking the pawn on d6. That's the point. So he played another beautiful move, rook to b8. His idea is that when we are capturing this pawn, he's capturing back, and even we are capturing this, he can capture this b2 pawn. That's it. I hope it is clear. And so, okay, like we capture back with the knight. We capture with the bishop because we cannot capture with the knight because our queen will be in trouble. That's the reason. So he captures with the knight, and we capture with the bishop, and capture with the pawn. And like we discussed, capture with the pawn, and the queens are traded, and we capture our knight. We are getting a double pawn here, and so he capture the rook, and the king capture. The game is going. The game getting close to the end game, and so he captured the pawn like we discussed, and he captured the pawn, and again it's picking up the pawns, and he captured other pawn, and here you can see that the white and black both are the fast pawns, but you can see the black pawn is almost near to getting the queen, and white pawn is so much far. So he attacked the pawn, first, and he captured this, and again captured, and just capturing again front and back. So here the king played it. The point is that he's attacking the rook, and the rook has to move away. So we can move our rook and attack the pawn. Okay, he played rook to a3. So like we discussed, we attack the pawn. So we are next move. We are going to capture. There is no move for black to prevent the capture. But the black find a better idea. Good idea. Rook to a2 check, and king go to f3, and here also check. So he cannot come back here, and because the check will come again, so he go to g4. His idea is that after going to g4, he can go to h3. Then after going to g4, if he is attacking this pawn, he can come to h3. If suppose he is again coming to a3, then he can push the pawn to g3. Okay, I will show you. The game happened. Rook to a2, and the king supported. Suppose if the rook is again going to a3 and attacking the king, now king can push the pawn to g3. So he hasn't gone for that way. Instead, he attacked the pawn. Okay, suppose you may be thinking like, anyways, while attacking the pawn, he can capture. Then what's the point in attacking? Okay, we can find it now. He captured the pawn, and now played king to f7. Side is very simple. Attacking this rook, and if the rook is going away, he can capture the pawn. Then only two pawn versus top pawn, and with the rook, it's a clean draw. And the king goes to g3, and the king comes to f6. That's it. And so the king rook has to move. Suppose he's trying to defend. Then there are so many options, like we can go to rook to f2, or we can push the pawn, and after we can instead of pushing the pawn, we can go to rook to f2. So suppose we are going rook to f2, he can come here, capture. We can capture this, and the game will go like that. So he goes to rook to e, and king again goes to f7. So attacking this rook again. So he goes to. The point is that if the rook is going to any other square, and so the rook can capture, then it will be clear draw. And the only move is that he can come to e5, but the king can again come to f6. So it is a draw, and the game ends like this. It's a draw. And this was a recent game between the Nepo and Liren. And so I hope it's clear to you. If you have any questions or any queries, you can ask in the comment section. Okay, thank you.